Hello, everyone. It's Brian here. Believe it or not, we are approaching the end of the random records selected by you. I have enough records for 2 videos. I'm going to show 6 today, and weirdly, I have 6 left, which is odd because I decided to show 6 records in each video and it worked out evenly. Isn't that weird? So this is part 8. I'll put a link below to the original video if you've never heard of this before. And we're going to start with a choice made by @RogerMusgrove5426, who wrote, Brian, I meant to do this before but completely forgot until I saw your first video in this series. Hope I'm not too late. You are not too late. And then he noted, I've got a channel but haven't been brave enough to post anything yet. And obviously, I'm going to say I think you should. I think the VC would love to see what you're listening to. There's a lot of threads and tags floating around, so it's a good way to get started if you're interested. So think about that for a while. I'll choose bin 37, record 7. Cheers, Roger. So you have chosen a record that I very recently showed in a different series. I'm doing a top 200 countdown, I guess, of my favorite Canadian songs of all time. And 2 or 3 episodes ago, I chose a song from this album by Canadian band Saga. This is the album called Worlds Apart, which is their 4th record from 1981. They were formed in 1977 in Oakville, Ontario. And if you ask the average person who knows this band what they're all about, they'd probably say prog meshed with a bit of pop or rock. So shorter songs, not really epically long prog songs, but certainly pop and rock with prog influences and a bit of new wave and possibly some power pop thrown in. This is the back. One of these songs is on my list of 200 favorite Canadian songs, but you're going to have to watch the videos to find out which one that is. They're on the Maze record label. Here's the insert. They were on Polydor before, and then they switched to Maze out of Toronto. Probably a bit of dust here as usual. So a pretty good band. I usually like everything I hear from this band. They still get played on the radio here, and they're kind of perennial favorites. So that is Saga. So thank you, Roger, for that. Number 2 is from Dave. You'll know him as M Fidelity. I really like Dave's channel. It's funny how we share a lot of the same musical reference points, although occasionally he's a step or 2 ahead of me with the more obscure things. On the other hand, he's the only other channel that I know that showed a Sad Lovers and Giants record. I showed one, he showed one, so that's really cool. I think I could say this, if Dave likes it, I will probably like it too, which is something that isn't true of all channels. So he said something like, great idea for a series, blah, 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 blah. I'll choose bin for record 20. And Dave, I think you've shown a record from this band before. If not, I pretty much guarantee that you know this band and you love this band as much as I do. That is a Scottish band called the Blue Nile. This is their debut record called A Walk Across the Rooftops from 1983. This is the only record I have from this band. It was a piece of VCLT from David Atkinson, and I got it almost exactly 1 year ago. The reason I know that, of course, is because a year ago when David rolled into town, we hung out here for a few days, and then I drove him and the Vinyl Martini down to Buffalo to MGK Boston's summer party. So David brought me this record. Again, thank you, David. It was released, I guess, with little to no fanfare back in 1983. It did get some reviews that were positive, and it was one of those records where word of mouth seemed to mean a lot to this record. People passed on their love of it to other people. 7 tracks here. And it became a real classic of a record. I adore this record. I hadn't heard the whole thing until after David gave it to me. It's one of those records where you savor every moment and you feel a little sad when it ends. Really fantastic. Now, their records were repressed. I live within 500 meters of a record store, and they didn't have this one the day I went there, but they had other records from this band, and they were all $70 or more for a record, which I thought was absolutely unbelievable. So I am keeping my eyes open for other records from this band because I really think they're fantastic. And I do have Scottish heritage. My dad was born in Glasgow, so why not? I don't think I have any other records on this Lynn label. This might be the only one. So I guess I should have also said they're sometimes classified as sophistopop or art pop, and sometimes compared with bands like Prefab Sprout or the Go-Betweens or Talk Talk or even Deacon Blue. I don't know if that's really accurate or not, but it kind of gives you a sense of the direction this band is going in. I think they're fantastic, though. Really excellent. So thank you for that choice, Dave. The next one is from a guy called, and you may know him, Vinyl Richie 007. So Vinyl Richie. And I have to say, he's probably everyone's favorite VC channel. Maybe? Go Jets. Anyway, he chose Cube 1, Record 2. A few videos in this series earlier, someone chose Cube 1, Record 1. And I said in that video that the way I file my records is that if the band name has a number in it that's using real digits, I put those first, like 10,000 Maniacs, 13 Engines. And the record that came up the first time was 10cc. So this is yet another 10cc record. This is Greatest Hits 1972 to 1978, released in 1979. And I was thinking back to that other video because I think I made a commitment to listen to that 10cc record because I got some comments that were encouraging me to listen to it or suggesting that it was a good record. You know, I'll say the same thing about this record as I did with the other one, is that, you know, I recognize a couple of tracks. Of course, I'm Not in Love is on here again. Life is a Minestrone, Rubber Bullets. I do remember those tracks, but it's not a band I really spent much time with. And so I would look back at the comments because I was just curious. Carl Tweed, who is a VC member and someone that I really appreciate their knowledge and recommendations, said 10cc original soundtrack is deserving of another listen. And I may have said that I'm going to listen to it again, but I don't think I did. Well, I know I didn't. I may have said that I was going to. Mark Morris said, I never really got into 10cc. I'm not sure why. I'm not even particularly fond of I'm Not in Love, which will seem like sacrilege to most. Yeah, it might. David Atkinson, whom I just mentioned, said 10cc original soundtrack is excellent. I have agreed with David from time to time in the past, so I guess I should give it a listen. On the other hand, Ben Rankin said, you have a 10cc record? Exclamation point. You're turning into Mazzy. It's like, is that a positive thing or a negative thing? I don't know. So it has this priceless collection insert with a lot of records you can get. I will show you the vinyl, which probably also has a bit of dust. So yeah, I guess really I should follow through with my word and listen to 10cc and decide once and for all if it's something I like or not. So next, at Viking Brace, which is Gary from Physical Format Rock and Roll. Gary's like the VC cat whisperer. He's everyone's best friend in the VC. If there's a hot chick in a band, Gary is going to like it. And he said, nice idea. My pick is Bin 1, Album 12. And I have to say, I'm not sure, Gary, if you're going to like this band or not. I'm a little on the fence on that. It happens to be Aha, Hunting High and Low from 1985. And this is a Norwegian band. The other day, I was watching a video from Morten Astad, and who said that this was the biggest selling Norwegian band ever, like millions of records. I didn't buy this when it came out. I was aware of the video. I felt that the video kind of overwhelmed the song, and I thought that the song was popular only because of the video. I guess maybe I changed my mind on that, but I didn't buy this record till at least 25 years after it came out. There's the back. And there are other songs in here that got some attention, like The Sun Always Shines on TV is one that I think was played. Also, the title track, Hunting High and Low. I guess I've mellowed to this. I wouldn't say I liked it at the time, but I guess it's better than I thought it was. But it's not a record I've listened to very many times. And I do have their, I think it's their second record called Scoundrel Days. Is the photo and the negative of the photo. So this is another record that I should probably give a spin because it's been a long time since I've listened to it. There's no doubt that Take On Me is a new wave classic, and that video I think rightly deserves the accolades that it got, I would say. Thank you, Gary, for that. Next is from someone called at Sunshine Varney 8806. Hi, Brian. My name is Sunshine. I don't have a channel. My choice for the next video is Bin 4, 16th record. I mean, I really don't have much to say about this band from New York City. I mean, obviously, classic. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't know this band. And Gary, in particular, likes this band. I know that because he said so, but also there's a hot chick in it. So Best of Blondie. Look at that. Look at that price tag. $5.99 from Discus. This is 19... is it 81? 81. So Discus, by the way, was one of those mall record stores that operated in Ontario and Quebec. They had a location in the Eaton Centre in downtown Toronto. I wonder what $5.99 is today in today's value. Yeah, still in the shrink. I do have records that are still in the shrink from time to time. This is a pretty impressive collection of Blondie songs. Many of you will already, of course, have this record. Starting with Heart of Glass, Rapture, Dreaming, One Way or Another, Tide is High, etc. Sunday Girl, Hanging on Telephone, etc. Really excellent overview of Blondie till 1981. And here is the chrysalis labels. So Sunshine, thank you for picking a really cool compilation. The Best of Blondie. And finally, we move to a choice from none other than Mike, MGK Boston, the host of the upcoming party in Buffalo, formerly in Boston. It's called MGK Boston, but it's really a misnaming now. I mean, come on. Greetings, Brian, blah, blah, blah. I'm picking bin 24, number 3, for one of your future videos in this series. And Mike, you have picked what is a stone cold classic from the godfather of Canadian hip hop. That is Maestro Fresh Wesley Williams. This is Symphony in Effect from 1989. Yes, still in a shrink again. This was a monster of a record in Canada. It kind of broke radio formats because it was played on an alternative radio station I've mentioned before, which kind of surprised me, but played on other stations as well. There was a cool video for it. The first single, Let Your Backbone Slide, features a sample of The Funky Drummer from James Brown. That particular song became the first Canadian hip-hop song to be featured on Billboard's Hot 100 hip-hop songs. I think I've got that right. He won the inaugural award in the new Juno Awards category for Best Hip-Hop Record. A very influential guy. Certainly not Canada's first hip-hop artist, but the first one that really made inroads. This album went double platinum. Got a lot of video play. Drop the Needle was the second single from this record. He's also gone on to be like an author. He's a TV host, a producer, very well-known guy. I don't know what else to say, but I'm just a really important figure in Canadian music. Here we have the Attic Records out of Toronto, of course. And once again, in the shrink wrap, but with this cool price tags on there. So, yeah, really interesting guy. What else can I say about him? Not much, but that's an interesting choice, Mike. Thanks for that. And I guess that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.